South Africa's escalating cost of living needs to be addressed, and the South African Federation of Trade Unions, Saftu, is hoping a national shutdown will help start the process. The union's General Secretary, Zwelinzima Vavi, has continued to raise concerns about the increases in food, electricity and fuel for the poor. Let's hear more from him now about their campaigns, including that proposed national shutdown come August. Mr. Vavi, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time. We've seen your statement. We had your briefing earlier on as Saftu outlining your campaigns going forward. Can I start here first? How likely is it that the national shutdown that you are intending to host in August or to hold in August will take place?
It's more than 1,000,000% likely. There's no way that we're going to be taking off on this one. There's a central question we're asking ourselves, and that question is, when we hand over this country and when we bequeath this country to the next generation as the current generation of workers, where we can now see that our country is standing right on the doorsteps of a failed state. A banana republic is written in the door. And we know that we now have started with a 1 hour electricity blackout. 15 years ago, it's now 2 hours, 6 hours. Sorry. Please move away, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, somebody was kept on kicking the window, and so the picture is keeping on shaking. I'm sorry, I'm live on television.
Okay,
the comrades was.
Yeah, thank you. Apologies noted. Thank you. You say you can't stand aside as the current generation of workers when things are going wrong, because what kind of country you'll bequeath to the future workers' generation?
Exactly. How will we answer them when they ask a question? Where were you guys when you saw us moving into the direction of a failed state, of a banana republic? When you knew that you have destroyed, or your generation of leaders destroyed, a once leading electricity generating institution that was pulling a position number one in terms of reliability, of affordability, and you allowed it to be destroyed totally by wrong deployment of people who have no skills whatsoever on the basis of their connection to the political leadership. Where were you when your country started to have stage 1, stage 2, stage 6, and the threat of a stage 8? When all black businesses that were starting post-1994 and they were being destroyed, and when workers were being sent home to be told that they will not be paid a full salary in a week or in 2 months, what did you do? Mm-hmm. When the country was experiencing these levels of crime, where 68 people die daily, when the youth unemployment knocked at 76% for those below the age of 24, when 4 million of the youth are not in education, not in any kind of training, where were you? What did you do? Did you lift a finger? And we have decided that no, we can't allow. Food prices have escalated by 14% in just 1 year. Electricity have increased by a staggering 22% in 2022. When you combine with all of the crises we have experienced, it is into the 400s plus percentage increases.
Okay,
who can afford that?
Yeah, you've set a program of action around 6 campaigns from the statement that I've seen, with the planned national shutdown or strike for August. One of your demands in your campaigns is that Eskom should be positioned under a different leadership that will ensure that it drives the introduction of renewables. And some voices, like the former CEO of Eskom, Jacob Maruga, telling our channel earlier today that yes, renewables are necessary, they are good, they are their future to reduce emissions, but they alone will not solve our current electricity crisis.
Because the horse has almost bolted. By the way, talking about Jacob Maruga, can we just say this? Jacob Marocha was one of the 3 top executives, engineer, loads and loads of experience, that was shortlisted to be employed as the CEO. But the leadership of the ANC decided that somebody who is not an engineer, with 0 experience in running any successful institution generating electricity, must be the one that gets affirmed. And now we are in total mess. Marocha have the necessary experience. He was a successful, relatively, CEO of ESCOM, sidelined on the basis that he is black, we believe, and that when you are black, in the eyes of some people, you are automatically corrupt, and when you are white, you are automatically clean. We are in this mess because of the wrong choice that the ANC government made in affirming somebody with no experience whatsoever in running an institution such as ESCOM. So we take his comments very, very seriously because he's correct. We should have started with the renewables in 2020 when the raters went into ESCOM. In fact, if you know that we've been under a warning of massive crisis of climate change, starting way back into the late 1990s, we should have started at that moment with the renewables. Okay. We will not be where we are today.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Just to conclude and very briefly, Mr. Vavi, in your statement you say the 24th August is a tentative date because you are not going to impose it as the executive of Saftu on your membership and organizations. Does that mean that between now and then you're going to be going around mobilizing and lobbying your various members and unions to join on the 24th of August?
And more importantly, Brother, is that we're convening a working class summit on the first week of August. If through the consultation, the working class formations, the internal structures of the federation, the left-leaning political parties, the NGOs that are pro-worker, all of them say that summit is too far, let's bring it in 2-3 weeks. And that strike on the 24th is too far, let's bring it forward. We will listen to that. But we didn't want to rush things. We don't want another flash in the pan type of an action, social media driven, that ends up being a big damn squeak. We want proper mobilization, a bottom up, to consult, to talk to communities, to unite communities, trade unions, workers around their struggles, and in the workplace, to strengthen community organizations, and to make sure that we establish people's assemblies all over the country, and before we think that we will be ready. So we don't want a rush because we don't see the 24th of July proposed tentative action as basically a date where we start and end. Okay. We want to see that as the beginning of a process for mass mobilization going further and further into our future.
That's 24th August. So it might remain or it might change depending on the outcomes of your consultations.
If it changes, it will be brought forward.
Thank you very much.
After that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zwelinzima Vavi, the General Secretary of the South African Federation of Trade Unions, planning a national shutdown. And their statement says the tentative date for the national strike is the 24th of August, but there's still going to be consultations. And if anything, if those consultations support it, it might even be brought forward. So watch this space.